What's up, guys? I want to talk a little bit more in depth about the NFT market and what is going to happen to it. So, most of it, obviously, 99.999% of it is just complete hogwash. Obviously, like super speculative investment. And a lot of people try to relate, obviously, Bitcoin to the Beanie Baby craze of the 90s. I think that obviously the NFT market is a little bit closer of an analogy to the Beanie Baby situation. So you have this false scarcity scenario. See, with Beanie Babies, they were only in like Hallmark stores at first, and they had like limited supply, and they basically artificially choked off the supply, and then they started releasing them at McDonald's. You get these Beanie Babies at McDonald's, and essentially they would have these kind of unique, semi-unique, like little Beanie Babies, and you could only go up there and get one, and so people even have their whole families going there and getting in line, acting like they're unrelated so that they could each get one. It was this false scarcity situation. So you see that with the NFT market. All these collections just keep getting pumped out, pumped out. Now they've got the SEC breathing down their neck, which I don't agree with a lot of this. It's just like a weird thing because like the SEC, like obviously attacked Ripple Labs. I don't agree with that. I never been like I don't like the premise of what XRP was, but I don't think the SEC should have attacked them. The SEC, sued Craig Grant and Trayvon James. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with those guys pitching BitConnect, but that's for someone like me to call that out and tell you guys that BitConnect is a scam. If you guys were around last cycle, you guys would know what I'm talking about. And we're self-regulated, so this whole premise that SEC is going to come in and protect people, it's obviously a fallacy. And what do they gain? What did the consumer gain by them suing someone like Kim Kardashian or suing Trayvon James or selling? They're just doing a fundraiser. And while some of it, you could say like it kind of gives a slap on the wrist, or people kind of think twice, like, I don't want to end up in this lawsuit, the SEC breathing down my neck and get this lawsuit. That might kind of slow some people down. At the end of the day, it's not like that money gets re-injected back into the people who quote unquote got scammed. So that being said, right or wrong, the SEC is, breathing down the necks of the Bored Ape Yacht Club guys. Their project is, supposedly valued at billions of dollars, and it's like, well, what does it do? And they were just able to keep pumping stuff out. They did the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and then they did the Mutant Apes, and they came out with Ape Token or Ape Coin or whatever. And then it's just like, well, what's all this do? And it's just like this extra thing they just keep pumping out there. And it's just kind of weird to me because it's like a lot of these guys that really don't know anything or not really building anything like real. And then it's like, well, it has success. It's like they don't know what they don't know, and they just kind of get out there, and then it's like, they got these government entities kind of coming after them and stuff. It's just a weird situation. I guess it was the perfect storm for them to sort of release this. Had overwhelming success, but what's going to happen is the thing's going to continue to collapse. Obviously, like volumes go way down, and just even in trading regular crypto, whether that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and that stuff, the volumes go down as the bear market continues on, and then eventually people are forced to sell, and then significant fraction of that volume is sell volume versus buy volume, and it just collapses to a lower level and lower level and a lower level and a lower level until it can re-meet. These people may be swooping in, seeing an opportunity and buying it, and that buy demand meets the sell demand, and then it'll long tail out for a long time doing that. Just bebopping around, just long tail, can do that for years. And we're going to have that because if you look at CryptoKitties, for the most part, this last kind of cycle, this 2020-2021 kind of cycle, the CryptoKitties from the 17-18 cycle were kind of forgotten, so it's like people weren't kind of dealing with that. They were jumping on this new thing and this new thing and this new thing, and you see that both in just kind of the regular crypto, people that felt like they missed out on Bitcoin, they chased after Dogecoin. The people who missed out on Dogecoin were chasing after Shiba Inu. It was just this next thing, and eventually you run out of energy going after the next thing and the next thing. Well, there's still collections coming out for NFTs. There's still new collections coming out. A lot of it seems to be like Solana is very active with that, but Solana goes down like once a month. It's just kind of a weird thing. They're always like, the blockchain's always going down. Then you look at some of these other blockchains, they're not going down all the time like that. So it just gets to be kind of like, how reliable is this thing? And are you going to post all your assets? And I previously told you guys with like the Binance Smart Chain, it also had to be taken down because there was this exploit on a bridge where there was tons of money that was stolen through a bridge over on the Binance Smart Chain. So they basically shut down the Binance Smart Chain. And to think that one entity, obviously Binance, is able to shut that down, or that Solana keeps going down, I wouldn't put all your assets there. Don't put all your eggs in one basket over there if you are doing anything over on Solana or you're doing anything on the Binance Smart Chain. And I like the Binance Smart Chain. Haven't been as active on Solana, but you got to think, like, these collections are being pumped out. And in my opinion, the only time these NFTs make any sense is if it is connected to some sort of metaverse and you have some kind of in-game element, or that your character inside of that metaverse has a certain power, has certain attributes that further you in this gamified environment. It's one of the only ways I really see a value. And that's such a minute portion of the market, because most of the stuff that they're trying to build on cannot handle it. Ethereum cannot handle some sort of metaverse at scale, and to actually write that to the chain, because you're talking about, you're talking like 12-second block times with Ethereum, and you're talking capabilities of maybe like 20 transactions per second. That's not enough. You look at some of these other chains, like the EOS.io software can do like 10,000 transactions per second. It has half-second block time. So things are just happening at a much more rapid pace. It's more capable of that. Not that it's necessarily the perfect world either. And obviously, we've been down this road with the EOS and these various different chains. Obviously, Wax has had success with the NFT related stuff. A lot of volume kind of came in through Wax for that and some of the gaming. Hive has had success, which is an earlier iteration of the EOS.io software, essentially, because it was developed by Dan Larimer as well. So 3-second block times on Hive, and Splinterlands is one of the most sought after games, or one of the most heavily played games from a blockchain perspective, and that originated on Steam/Hive. So you do have a lot of demand there, and at least with that makes more sense to me, that there's this game and your cards have a certain attributes and you can level up and battle. You can do these battles and stuff on Splinterlands. That's not my kind of thing. Like, I would be more into like a first-person shooter game where you could buy like different weapons and you could like go through and you could shoot people and throw grenades and stuff like that, like kind of like a Counter-Strike type thing. And there was a couple projects that were saying they were doing that, but what happened to them, who knows. Probably ran out of funding or just scammed everybody. So you run into that issue. Now, that being said, what's some of the metaverses that are out there, and their active users has just been an abysmal joke. Like, it just came out that like Decentraland and Sandbox, obviously built on Ethereum, it's not capable of it. It's not capable of like any kind of actual game at scale. But basically, I think like Decentraland had like 38 active users on average each day, like 38 worldwide. And I guess Sandbox, which I think it's still on some kind of alpha or something like that. I don't think that you can get in there and kind of like earn, but it had some kind of joke volume, like maybe 200 or maybe 1,000 active users a day or something like that. But that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. So, stuff like Splinterlands, and there was a few others that were doing a little bit better than that on some of these various chains and stuff. But because when the crypto market gets sucked down, everything's getting sucked down value-wise. And so anybody doing this play to earn stuff, Axie Infinity or any of these different kind of games, just the wind that has been taken out of the sails, and then you can't hardly make anything. And then so it's like, well, why would you play it if you can't make anything? Because one thing that Papa Pepper said previously, it's people talk about buying low, but it's hard to blog low. It's hard to play a game low. You're going to do this, you're going to play this game, and the value of it associated is maybe like you're playing for 10 hours straight and earn like 50 cents worth. it doesn't feel like it's worth it for people. So they feel like they're just expending all their time and their energy. It doesn't make sense. So they just kind of quit, and they're worried that the project's going to go away, because that's actually happened to me a bunch, where I've actually been, basically a witness on various chains that were like forks of Steam. I've blogged on platforms that didn't make it, like Wiku. If you guys remember Wiku, Bear Shares, all the stuff, and you expend all this energy kind of like being on these platforms or trying to like test out a platform, seeing if it's something, and then it ends up being nothing. So spend a lot of energy, a lot of time, and a lot of this is going to happen with these NFTs. People thought it was going to be more than it was. They kind of just blindly just bought into it. I even saw a thing that Jake Paul, it was something stupid, like he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on some stupid NFT, and it's worth like, I don't know, like $23 or something stupid. So people just, it just makes them look like clowns, and they're going to feel like clowns. So at the end of the day, guys, don't get caught up in that kind of like a lot of this speculation, but I think that there is some value in these NFTs if it is like a fully gamified environment, and the attributes of that NFT can be utilized in a game that has like enough backing and has enough support behind it to sort of become something in a real world environment, and not on a blockchain that can't handle it. It's not going to be on Ethereum, guys. Unless Ethereum really does scale to some extreme extent over the next couple years, most of the stuff's just going to be scammy that they're pitching. Oh, we're building on Ethereum. No, you're not. And again, it's tough to call these guys out because they just get so much backing. I mean, it's like Snoop Dogg was buying like whatever land or something in Sandbox, or like getting involved in it and stuff, and these guys like get involved in it, they don't know what they're looking at, and they're just like, yeah, this is going to be the future, and it's like, is it? It's not capable of it. So anyway, guys, trying to bring a little bit of realism to this market. The NFTs could potentially be a buy maybe in a year and a half or whatever, when this stuff really burns out and people really get pressed out even harder, because next year is going to be, it's not going to get better, guys. So anyway, that being said, what do you guys think about the NFT space? Any kind of collections that you're particularly looking at that you really do think that it does have an opportunity to actually be something, and it's on a blockchain that can actually handle that transaction volume? Leave a comment below. Please like this video, because that's free. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos. Follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steemit, Twitter, Hive, DTube, everywhere. See you guys.